Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Thai PBS World Live. We have a special program today because there is a court case that we are following.
We have the latest update on the lese-majeste case against former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. Less than 30 minutes ago, the criminal court acquitted Thaksin from all charges in the case. The case was a result of an interview that Thaksin gave to a South Korean media outlet back in 2015,
yes.
in which he was alleged to have said something and made remarks deemed offensive to the monarchy. But the court today ruled that he is not guilty, that all charges against him have been dropped.
Yeah, so he was acquitted. With us on the ground, we do have a reporter at the criminal court in Ratchada today, and we're going to bring Nat Bunak into the program and bring to you live the information that we have at the moment and what is going on at the court. So let's welcome Nat. Hello, Nat.
And as expected, Thaksin Shinawatra has survived as the criminal court has ruled that the former prime minister is not guilty of violating Thailand's lese-majeste law over his interview with South Korean media 10 years ago. And Thaksin's lawyer told reporters even before the ruling today that they are quite confident in the evidence that they have submitted in defense. But when asked by reporters after the ruling today whether there might be an appeal against this ruling, he felt that the court's verdict is already clear in itself. Meanwhile, he also mentioned that Thaksin has thanked the lawyers for helping him throughout the case. And as for today, Thaksin arrived at the criminal court at around 9:30 a.m. and reportedly went inside through the back of the building. And so far, he has already left the criminal court without speaking to reporters. And as you may have noticed that today is definitely a big event, so there are many reporters from local and international media gathering at the criminal court since the early hours of today to cover this significant court case. And security here is also very tight in and around the court, with security guards stationed at all areas, especially in front of the criminal court as well as the parking lot. And reporters are not even allowed to go inside the criminal court, so most of us are asked to stay on the right side of the staircase. And not only that, for security reasons, reporters are not even allowed to do stand-up live reports inside the criminal court, so many of us had to do a live cross right here in front of the criminal court. And there are also a group of Pheu Thai supporters in red shirts at the parking lot today as well. So many of them are the elderly people coming from Bangkok and elsewhere across Thailand to give moral support for Thaksin Shinawatra today. And although he survives the case, this is actually not over for the Shinawatra family, because there are still two major legal cases against them, one against Pathongthai Shinawatra and another against Thaksin as well. So after today's ruling, there's another court case coming up next Friday against Thaksin's youngest daughter and the current Prime Minister Pathongthai Shinawatra over her phone call between herself and Cambodia strongman Hun Sen as to whether she is found guilty of ethical misconduct, and if she's found guilty, she would be ousted from office. And there's also another case against Thaksin Shinawatra over his controversial stay on the 14th floor of the Police General Hospital without spending a single night in prison, and the ruling of which is expected to take place in early September. But regardless of the outcome, this might actually affect the future of Thai politics as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Back to you.
Thank you, Nat.
Thank you, Nat.
Okay. So what does this whole thing mean? That is today's verdict. I think for Thaksin, certainly he can heave a sigh of relief.
For now.
One hurdle to his full political rehabilitation is out of the way.
Yes.
But that is not the end of the story yet.
No, it's not. By the way, the prosecution still have the right to appeal, and we don't know if they're going to appeal the case or not. But for now, he is acquitted.
I see.
Yes.
So I'm sure that many people must be asking, what exactly did Thaksin say that landed him in troubles? Of course, because of the issue of republication liability we cannot
No.
repeat exactly what he said in the interview
Yes.
that triggered the legal case against him. It was an interview conducted back in 2015. He was speaking to a South Korean media outlet, right?
Chosen Media.
And he was asked to recall events leading to his ouster in 2006 and the toppling of his sister's government, Jinglak government back
Yes.
in 2014, right? And then he didn't mention names, but he did use the term the palace circle
Exactly.
to describe people he believed were behind the plot.
Yes.
That plot about his ouster, his downfall.
So that's pretty much the details that we're going to go into. But let's look at the timeline. How did we get here today,
Okay.
right? So back in 2015, just like you said, Thaksin gave an interview on South Korean media called the Chosen Media, and that was the interview in question in which he mentioned the palace circle, as you have reported.
Yeah.
And then a year later, the Royal Thai Army filed charge to the Police Central Investigation Bureau, and the Attorney General decided to file a lese-majeste charge under the Criminal Code. And there was another case as well, plus a charge under the Cybercrime Act. Yeah. So August 22nd, 2023, exactly 2 years ago, he returned from self-exile after spending 15 years overseas. And today is actually the second year anniversary of his return.
Okay.
And he appeared in court for the lese-majeste charge. Also, we have some information about the person who actually filed this case. And yeah, it's this person. So it was General Udomdet Sitaput, who was the Deputy Minister of Defense at the time, and he was the Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Thai Army from 2014 to 2015, and he was also the NCPO Secretary General. So in that role, he filed charges against that interview on South Korean media.
No, because of the sensitivity of the case, all the court sessions, court hearings have been held in camera,
Yeah.
meaning that no journalists were allowed to sit in the courtroom.
Right.
So we have to confess that we don't
We don't
have
really
any
know what
detail
was said in the courtroom.
both in the prosecution and in defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We do know that the prosecution examined 10 witnesses,
Yeah.
and the defense examined 3 witnesses for this case.
And the charges against Thaksin were filed a year after Dmitry took over the country.
Yes.
And Thaksin went into self-exile, and then he ended up in South Korea, where he gave the interview to the South Korean media outlet. And that's where all the troubles started for him, as far as the case is concerned.
Yeah.
Thaksin himself appeared in person to hear the ruling by the criminal court today.
Yes.
And it didn't take long for the court to deliver the ruling.
He wore a yellow tie though.
As a show of loyalty to
Yeah.
the monarchy. And of course, Thaksin has been insisting that his loyalty to the monarchy is beyond question.
Yeah.
So, and he denied all charges against him, and he believed that the charges filed against him were just a conspiracy by his enemies, his opponents that want to put a stop to his political comeback.
Yes, exactly. So remains to be seen how this will progress. There is still time to appeal for the prosecution side as well. But for now, I think it's okay for Thai politics for now, because whatever impacts us, a political figure like Thaksin will obviously impact Thai politics. So a lot of people are watching this case.
The most immediate result from this ruling is that Thaksin can now travel overseas
Right.
freely, right? Remember that he
Yeah, it was released on bail.
he tried without success to ask for permission from the court to
Yes.
go overseas for
Yes.
whatever reason, right? And the court said no, because you are still a defendant in this very important case.
Yeah.
So and Thaksin made it clear that the first thing he would want to do if he's acquitted is to travel overseas.
Right.
Don't forget that he, besides being the father of the Prime Minister, he is also an advisor to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim.
Yes, exactly.
As the ASEAN chair. And he has also been appointed to a committee by President Prabowo of Indonesia, to a special committee on financial issue. Right?
Yeah.
So Thaksin certainly has a lot of engagement that he wants to really go back to.
Exactly, because remember August last year, he was released on bail of 500,000 baht after acknowledging the charge, and he was prohibited from leaving Thailand without the court's permission. But now that he is acquitted, he is free to leave the country as he please. And before this, he has been seeking the court's permission in order to go overseas for medical treatments as well, and that was denied. So, yeah.
So as we said, the acquittal today by the court, that is not the end of his ordeal that he is facing, right? On the September the 9th, that is 2 weeks, but less than 2 weeks from
That's Judgment Day 2.0.
Another judgment day for him. This goes back to his return from self-exile 2 years ago, right?
Yes.
And instead of having to spend times in jail, he ended up spend the next 6 months after his return in the police hospital, claiming to be seriously ill.
Yeah.
But the problem is that that people don't believe him, and that's why the court has taken up the case, to determine whether his 6 months stay at the hospital can be seen as a substitute for serving times behind bars.
Yeah, and if not, there is a tendency that he would have to, how are they going to handle those 180 days in the hospital?
That's right. The worst case scenario for Thaksin is that if the court rules against him, there is a possibility that he may have to go back very physically behind bars to serve out the 1 year sentence, right? Or he can be locked up in an alternative facility. But the best case scenario for him, of course, is that he may the doctors that diagnose him as being seriously ill will be penalized. In fact, they have been penalized by the medical council already, right? But Thaksin himself, he wasn't the one who determined whether or not he could stay at the hospital. So he may be sort of the doctors would be the ones that would be penalized, not Thaksin himself.
Yeah. And that is September 9th is the court's criminal division for political office holders.
But before September 9, there is another judgment day. This time is for his daughter.
Yes, that's, it was actually planned for next Friday, but it was moved up, isn't it, to
what is moved up is the deadline for the submission of testimonies by the defendants.
Yeah.
And the judgment day for Thaksin's daughter, Prime Minister Paetongtarn, will be next Friday.
29th.
Yeah, the court will rule whether or not she has really committed any serious breaches of political ethics in her disastrous phone call with Cambodian strongman Hun Sen.
Yeah, in that conversation was quite, it was widely criticized, so it remains to be seen, what defense she would give and if she would be acquitted or if she would be found guilty, not guilty. So we'll follow that case as well. But anyway, thank you so much for joining our live. Today is a very short one, but we thought we should bring it to you as it happens because a lot of people are interested in what goes on in Thai politics, especially with a figure like Thaksin Shinawatra. So thank you for joining this live, and we do have a program tomorrow at 10 o'clock as well on Thai PBS World. It's called Media Polls, and we're going to talk more about Thai politics tomorrow.
Especially the case against Paetongtarn, the Prime Minister.
Exactly. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Thank you.